Oh, hi everybody. Kristin's going to do the intro today because I've got to do a refill.
So she just kind of sprung that on me, but thanks.
Like this is the first thing I sprung on you.
I wasn't prepared with my speech.
At least this thing I sprung on you was clothed.
Anyway, hi, I'm Kristin. Thank you for joining us for Rocktails and Cocktails. And we're going to pop some bubbly and
oh yeah, the book that she's in that I wrote that tells not even half of our lives.
No.
And how to be a groupie 101, how to flirt with the rock star, and Groupie's Guide to Etiquette to the Road. These ones, you know what to do.
Yes, like, subscribe, do all that stuff.
No, go down.
Oh, go down. Yeah, go down. It's super beneficial.
It is. And today we're doing part 2 of your questions. We kind of left off about the David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
Which time were we talking about?
The time that he was...
Oh, the party with Richie.
Yeah,
that's right.
We ended with Richie, the most amazing roadie to ever live.
Yeah, and he passed away a few years ago. But all right, everybody, grab your little drinky drinks, kick up your heels. We're gonna have some more cocktails and rocktails and answer to Richie Barron. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have. We still would have been as big as we would have been. But Richie helped us.
He let us skip some of the rungs of the ladder for sure.
That is for sure.
He elevated us.
He did. And a few other groupies were pissed, and that this is David Lee Roth's story. You tell it because...
Okay, you start because...
Okay, so we were at David Lee Roth hanging out. The night before was Poison, where I tap, tap, tap. Brett Michaels was like, never mind. I went back to the...
Where was I? I can't remember.
You were with Richie. At the Marriott. I was down. He dropped me off. Remember when he told me... Because I had the light lipstick on. He's like, Brett doesn't like... And he made me put on the hot pink.
Yep.
And you guys were there, and all of a sudden I came knocking on the door within a half an hour from another hotel.
Yes.
And that was the night before, so that was the tap, tap, tap. The, excuse me, sir, your services are no longer needed.
Yeah.
So, and then the night of the show was after the concert, and was it Doug that was their tour manager at the time?
Yes.
So, who was also around like Motley Crue and Poison and everybody. Yeah. But they handpicked girls to go to the after party that David Lee had set up in the back. It's the first time we heard Salt and Pepper. Push it.
Yeah.
Nah. Yes. Push it good.
Yes, that was right before Hawaii.
Yeah, right before she left to go finish high school. School.
Ooh, school.
Oh, they know. In Hawaii.
Some kind of school.
So, we were the first 2 girls picked to go back there.
Yep.
And we just wandered in, made ourselves at home, started eating the green M&Ms, we're dancing, and then...
It seems to me that I think we had laminates to that, so we just were already there before anybody got picked.
Yeah, because I just remember we were coming from FOH, and there were all the girls up on that little area.
Yeah.
Just off the floor.
I know, but we were on FOH, so we were already picked.
I know. But...
We didn't have to be picked.
No.
We picked them.
People think I'm just being a, egotistical bitch when I say that. Like I said, we're man-eaters. You can call the Hugh Hefner sick pervert pimp type of guys playboys and fabulous, or the rock stars, No, what do you call us groupies? We're not fucking muses. We weren't that bullshit. We are man-eaters. It was our lives. It was our decision.
Even the only thing is, we were just there to have fun. We I don't know. There's just a difference between what I kind of witnessed maybe with some other people. They were just, when they'd see somebody famous or, one of the guys from the band, they just were puffing their chests out, or in this case, sticking their tits out. But we were just we were there, we were acting silly and stupid all the time. Yeah. And we were cracking each other up.
Yeah, and we never talked shit about other girls.
No.
We didn't talk about music.
And
we
the guys
let
just,
the moment unfold.
I know. We didn't plan anything. You have to be just ready and fluid for things to happen.
And this goes more along the lines with that groupie advice question.
Yes, exactly.
I always say never talk about the music because
they're doing that all the time. That's their job. I mean, do you want to go, when you get off stage, do you want to talk about your job?
No.
Or, I mean, whatever your stage is, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, they're not the rock stars. We never treated them like the rock stars that you guys see on stage. We saw something completely different off that stage.
And it was always with us, it was always like, well, I really could care less if you want to hang out or not. You know, like, we're here and you're here and, you know, let's just have a good time. You know, it wasn't a, I don't know. It's hard to describe, right?
Yeah, because it was a vibe that we'll never get back. And I always tell people we were the last great groupie scenes that last 2 weeks in Salt Lake City. We knew that door slammed shut because you could not recreate that vibe. And us 80s groupies took it to a whole different ball game, a whole different level that nobody had ever seen. And you can't go past the top of the birthday cake, can you?
I know. I mean, we were the glass on top of the ceiling.
We were, and we broke
were
the ceiling. We broke the ceiling. We were the Charlie chocolate like glass elevator. Yes. We went through the roof, and trust me, I hung upside down from that roof.
So many times. I was like, "You're doing that again? Fuck!"
I know. Oh, I just
remember on the Saigon Cake bus
when I broke out in a rash.
But you were still hanging upside down.
I was. Well, I'm surprised you saw that because when we walked in the bus and Phil had the, suction to the wall.
That was not for me. That was for him.
That was for him, I know. Because it was being for him when we walked in. We're like...
He's naughty.
And that's okay.
Yeah, he's fun.
Naughty's good.
We kept in touch for a long time, he and I.
Yeah, you guys did. I
just saw him in LA. I live in LA. And I'm a nurse and a massage therapist.
Trust me, she's good at the massages, so look her up.
Yeah. KristinHealingArts.com. www.KristinHealingArts.com. KristinHealingarts.com. Sorry, that's long.
Yeah. Trust me, I've seen her use her hands. She's fucking master at it.
Much different now.
Well, but still have to have the same caress and the right touch.
True.
Mm-hmm. So, she's probably got 2 masters in the right touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Back to David Lee Roth. What?
So, yeah, because remember when we went back and there was that one girl, Trudy, with her friend, was it... I always called her Susan, but I think it was Lisa. I don't know what she had the zip around.
We didn't know anybody else's name.
And that sounds bitchy, but we weren't paying attention to what was going on around us. We were in the moment with the crowd we were with. And we knew how to make that connection with them as human beings.
Yeah. It was, okay, I'm not going to say that it was just like, running into anybody in a hotel bar, because it wasn't, but we kind of tried to make it, like, easy like that, know? And I think that's why they originally met us in the beginning, but then they continued to reach out to us. It was almost like, hey, I'm coming. It was almost a friend calling you. Saying, hey, I'm going to be in Salt Lake. Like, come to the show or come down the night before. After a while, it wasn't even about... It was just like friends coming to town.
Yeah, and it still is to this day.
Yeah.
Oris was here, a month and a half ago?
Yeah.
Still. Oh. Excuse me. This looked like a frog there for a minute.
Rude. Rude.
Don't be afraid of bird ladies.
Farting, burping.
No, farting has to come later when you're on the bus and you have nowhere to go, because then you have an excuse as to why you did it. And sometimes you let it propel you across the room just for comedic effect. Or wake up with
okay, so we keep digressing from the David Lee Roth situation. So we went, so it was the one where he had the boxing ring in the middle. And it was funny.
Right, I forgot about that.
Remember, we went out into the audience. We had laminates that time, but we went out into the audience just to watch the show, and we were standing at the bottom of the boxing ring, and both her and I were just looking up, and he's in the top of the boxing ring. He came to the corner that we were on. We were down below, and you and I were just
Was that David Lee? Oh,
yes,
that's right.
We were. I was dressed in the
white leather.
The white leather
and the black bustier with the rhinestones.
Yes. And you were like opposite of me.
Yeah. And I think I had borrowed.
You had black with a white one underneath.
Yeah, I had your white one, and I think I borrowed your black leather jacket, but that was my boots. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were just standing at the bottom of the boxing ring, and we were just looking up. And he came to our corner, and then he didn't leave because he was just looking at us.
Mm-hmm.
Total eye contact, right? We were just down there, just kind of dancing. We weren't even dancing.
And he was talking to us and stuff, like.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of up like that because the boxing room was elevated, but he couldn't. Yeah, he was like mouthing things to us.
And that happens, like when Danny and I were in '98 here in Salt Lake for Page and Plant. We were coming from the FOH to Backstage, and Jimmy was on the side, and Robert was saying something, and we come through the gate, and there's Jimmy. He's like waving at us. He goes, okay. And we're like, yeah, we're good. And the whole crowd's like, what the fuck is he talking to?
What about that time when
Hold on. Okay.
What about that time when we were? It was when Robert Plant played out at the lake. Remember?
I told that story. Yes. Do you remember after the show, those kids had asked me for my autograph while Robert was standing behind us because I had just started dancing?
Okay, you guys, and Robert, I love you. I see you running in my neighborhood all the time, actually.
I just saw him. Well, that was the last show I went to before COVID.
Oh, okay.
Fucking killer show.
Yeah.
And guess what? Guess where they were?
Where?
Hotel bar.
Oh, yeah.
And every single one of them, I was already in the hotel bar as they were walking by that hotel bar.
In LA, the best hotel bar is the Sunset Marquis.
Yes, it is. That's where the Who stays, and there's private little bungalows. That's where most of the band stays.
Little tiny
the fucking
bar,
Hyatt House has been dead since 1976.
That little tiny bar right in the front,
which is owned by Randy Gerber and George Clooney.
Yes, we love George Clooney.
And I loved him in Vegas.
I'm sure. So anyway, blah blah blah. So Dave continues to play, and we're like, okay, we need a drink. So we just went backstage, and he was almost done. So we just went into the room and made some drinks. We were like the first ones there.
We were, and I just remember eating the green M&Ms were there.
Yes.
I remember eating those.
For sure. And then, so we were just there, hanging out, making drinks, and the first one to arrive was Steve Vai. He was eager.
But then Lisa and Trudy were sitting there trying to badmouth us. Because they were the groupies on the scene before us. Mm-hmm. And I think we had only been around for about a year at that point, but within months we kicked that motherfucking door in with no fucking mercy.
I mean, but the thing about it is it just pulled us in, you know? It was like...
Yeah, it was like that suction just...
You're doing this whether you like it or not. So it's just, I don't know, whatever. Everybody has their path. And, you know, a lot of people probably don't agree with our path, but I really don't care.
But it was a kismet thing.
It was
somebody
so much
asked
fun.
How we met.
It was so much fun.
It was.
Oh my gosh. We met at, and you'll see Kent tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, so
Holy
my group of friends, I had a friend, his name was Jared, and I was actually living with my dad in Wisconsin during my sophomore year, and I came back for Christmas to see my mom, and my group of friends took me to my friend Jared's house, and
Yeah, and you guys came to a party at Danny's.
Yeah. Yes. Came to a party at Danny's, and it was New Year's Eve.
Was it? That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I totally forgot it was New Year's.
That's when you walked in the kitchen and saw me beer bonging.
She was, too. She was just like swallowing like an anaconda. Loved it. I knew she was a natural. Oh, God. And that's a good thing. I mean that as a compliment, and she knows it. And that's the one thing we know about each other's. And I always loved her because she just was so... Kristin is always brazen about and very secure and comfortable in herself and her sexuality and stuff. And we all were at the time.
Yeah.
And you still are,
Girl power.
Mm-hmm.
It was girl power. I mean, it's just like... That's why, like I said, I keep coming back to the point that, like, they wanted to hang out with us as much as we wanted to hang out with them.
Rock stars
it wasn't
are
us,
groupie.
like, pushing ourselves onto them. We strategically placed
ourselves at the hotel bar.
It was their choice. They could just have not come over and talk to us.
We put ourselves in front of them,
but they didn't.
They had to come over and talk to us.
Right.
We didn't go over and talk to them.
No.
Except that one time with Tesla when we walked by.
What? Which one?
Def Leppard and Tesla?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so many parts to that Def Leppard and Tesla thing.
They were in town for 3 shows, which meant 5 days.
Mm-hmm. We were wrecked after that.
For 5 days in the 80s. I'm surprised we could walk after May of 1988.
Trying to think. Okay. Yes.
And then our last 2 weeks in Salt Lake, we sent this place out like no tomorrow.
We had our friends come from LA and play for us at one of the local bars here.
Yeah, I still have. Oh, hold on. So they made little passes for us, and I still have them. Show them our going away party pass. Because, like I said, I just did a thing on the 2 weeks. Yep, that's the passes they made because there was an upstairs area that was our VIP only.
Oh, I got. Oh my God.
You remember that, Guns N' Roses?
Oh yeah. Very contentious.
Do you remember the one where I think they were playing with Motley Crue and you stood above Slash, he laid down in the parking lot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What did I say to him?
I don't remember, but it was when Motley Crue had the pass on the fishing line going.
Yes.
And you were standing
there with them.
You tried to grab one of those passes.
No. Oh. Okay, so I walked up. Okay, Slash was laying in front of the bus on the concrete. And I walked up and I kind of just straddled him, stood over the top of him and looked down at him. And I was like, so, are we gonna, do this thing or what?
She did. She was just like, so, you gonna do this? What you doing down there?
Yeah, what are you doing down there?
Lift up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we could do it here if you want, but...
Meanwhile, behind her, I'm sitting there with the fishing pole with the pass. That was so much fun.
It was just really like a group of friends.
It was like a rock and roll frat.
Totally. It's because like when I was there and Slash like pulled his glasses down, he's like
didn't look you in the eye at first.
No.
He looked you in the mouth. In the lips.
Yeah. Now, anyway, God, do we keep losing track of
That's okay. That's okay. We can babble. We go back and forth. It's all right. People, they know. I go back and forth sometimes.
Cool.
Okay. Remember that one, T-Ride?
Who was that?
We knew someone working for that band.
There were so many times when we would just show up at a bar. Not even intending to do anything but maybe have a drink. And then we ran into people.
Because we were always at a hotel bar. Okay. But that's just where groupies and rockers go. That's I mean, there's like the Bombara where the band stay at the Monaco downtown.
What are some of the ones that we have been like out and about and totally unexpectedly ran into somebody? There has been a few where we were not even...
Well, the Yngwie and Lita thing we didn't plan on. And we were even bored. That's why we made out with Chris Holmes.
And then, remember, I went up later after to see Yngwie at the meet and greet.
That's right.
Remember?
Oh, tell that story. Because, see, I always tell people the stories, like, my story alone is only half the story of this book.
You went downstairs in the bus, and I was like, hey, I want to go up and say hi. I don't know.
I don't think I was with anybody.
No.
Because, like, that's why we were bored. Because
I was partying.
Yeah, because I was like, well, there's no one to kiss. Since Chris Holmes is here, I'll make out with him for a while.
So anyway, I'm like, well, I want to go just see Yngwie because I liked him as a musician. Mm-hmm. And so I just went up there, and I was there for about 5 minutes. And as soon as I walked in the room, he totally, scoped me. And then I walked around the room for literally like 10 minutes, and he was just... I mean, he wasn't making a move, but he kept staring at me. But I know he had to talk to people, but...
People?
But I was like... I kind of like looked at him, and I gave him one of these.
Okay, keep going.
You coming? And then, he was busy. He was at work, and I was like, okay, well... maybe we'll run into each other later. Didn't happen, but I'm not sad about it. Okay. So maybe back to the David Lee Roth thing. I think we keep digressing from that. So we went back, before the show was over, and then we went back to the room. The music was pumping. There was a bar. We got some drinks, and we sat on the couch, just kind of chilling out. And the first one in is Steve Vai.
Oh, is that David Lee?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And what did all the other girls do?
When they walked into the room and they saw both of us just hanging out on the couch with Steve Vai, we were all having the funniest conversation. We were all cracking up.
Because all of our conversations were odd. I don't remember anything
being normal. They were totally comedic.
And they were just like a snappy comeback, like a constant flow.
Just being witty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just flirting like normal with these guys.
And then I think
David Lee was the second to come in.
No, Greg Bissonette came in.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
The bass player. Or was he the drummer?
Keyboards, bass, probably. Keyboards on bass.
We were sleeping with him. We don't have to know what he did. He
was the cutest, though. He was so sweet. Remember how bouncy he was?
That's right. He was.
He was very bouncy.
He was high energy. Did he even get laid,
though? Maybe he's the drummer. That's why he's so bouncy.
Like I said, if we're not sleeping with them, we don't have to remember their name or what they do.
Right. But anyway, I think you got up to go say hi to him or something, and so you just left me and Steve on the couch.
Well, you guys were in your own little thing. I need someone to talk to. Your mouth was busy. Above the neck. Not in public, ladies. Come on.
Yeah.
Please take him in the bathroom for that.
Well, yeah, or somewhere else, like his hotel room.
Well, yeah, we always went back to the hotel room with them. But in a pinch, if they were leaving, I don't want to be on the back lounge of the bus. Lord knows what kind of petri dish is swimming back on.
Yeah, we don't do that.
No.
We're elevated.
We hang upside. That's the reason I hang upside down, elevated.
True.
Not touching that floor.
Okay. So anyway, they had to get going that night, right? They weren't staying.
No, they stayed the night that time.
Okay.
The time after that, they left right after.
Okay, I'm getting them mixed up. But yeah, that time,
it's easy to, though, because like I said, May of 1988, there was a different band in town every other damn day.
There was, a hotel, wonderful walk of shame for myself that next morning.
Well, we both did, but we owned the walk of shame. I would never thought of it as a shame. I thought of it as a, bitches, don't you wish you were me?
Yes, that's bitches, don't you wish you were me walk.
Yeah, it's not the walk of shame. Fuck that. We were never shameful. No. Okay, what's another question? Oh, you know what? We might have to do a part 3. Okay, guys, we're going to do a part 3 because we're 25 minutes in, so go down like it's a back lounge of the tour bus. Don't touch the floor. But do a little tickling of the bits on the way down and hit those links because I have some funny-ass merchandise, okay? And I've got the Kiplinger shot glasses coming soon.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, God. Oh, we still don't talk about Kip.
Yeah, it's kind of, like a taboo.
On that note, cheers, big ears. We'll see you next time here on Cocktails and Rocktails. Say bye.
Bye.